Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live June 2018 with the theme Face Your Fears. Hello everyone. Now I can see that you can see me. How are you all? And yes, it appears you all got in time. Anyway, let's begin with the usual introductions. The recording will be available on the site hypno.nimja.com with the background music and some cutting of the chatter. Of course, I'm not able to chat because the microphone is more important than you hearing me type. I again would like to mention that community translations and transcriptions have been enabled. So if you like, you can help transcribe files and translate subtitles. And no matter what language you speak, it is helpful. I'd also like to mention that I will be giving a workshop twice near the end of this year, in September in Belgium and in November in Wales. You can see details on hypno.nimja.com/live. And if you're having trouble seeing the stream, remember to reload. And no, I'm not going to the USA yet. The total on Patreon, by the way, thank you for supporting me on Patreon, is slowly creeping up more and more. I'd also like to mention that later this month there will be Nimja Live Lights. Voting will start shortly after this live, and this is only available for those who support me on Patreon of $10 and up. Now I hope everyone is having fun. As for questions that you have for me, yes, I do see you. The Q&A will start after the session. After the session, you're allowed to ask me anything. I may not answer everything, of course. See if I forgot anything. No, I think I have everything. Oh, actually, speaking of coming to Wales, I'd like to thank Sue in particular, who together with Harry's has organized this event. Me, Lex, and one other performer will be there. Let me quickly check. The other performer is English Harry, but I thought there was another one. I thought there was also a female performer, but I'm sure that Sue will update the page if that is the case. Anyway, now that we have all that news out of the way, Let's actually discuss the theme. I'm sure that some of you are confused. But everything will be fine. Now, the theme today is actually a very, very difficult one. It is face your fears. At the same time, it's also not as difficult as people think. And I'm not talking about games like being in a room with, what was it, flaming clown spiders? A reference to Loading Ready Run that probably nobody got. However, let's discuss the theme before we begin. I wonder, does anyone have any idea of how to face your fears? Do you have any experience facing your fears, and how would you suggest someone else overcame their fears? And I'm not talking about specifically what you feared, but how you faced it. And no, this is not a Nimja ink file. So, confrontation. Operational conditioning or slow exposure. To slowly get used to it. Gradual exposure, that's actually good words. Of course, it's tempting to say, just do it. However, I'm sure that some help would be appreciated. Yeah. Cognitive reframing. Sometimes all you need to get over a fear is to look at it in a different light. If you're looking for the details on whales, it is on hypno.nimja.com/live. Acceptation. Having friends, being not alone. I don't know if not knowing is a good way of facing your fears. Acceptation mentioned again. Seeing it as a chance to grow. Looking at the real side of fear, like the natural and normal side. Because not all fear is bad. Being afraid of a very large animal is a good thing. being mauled to pieces tends to not be good for someone's health. Yeah, determining what is a reasonable fear and what isn't. Being afraid just means you're about to do something brave. That's a very lovely way of putting it, LaRose. Changing fear into something else, or changing what you fear into something else. Let me see, the fear of the thing isn't you, it's your brain telling you stuff. You mean that the fear doesn't come from the inside, but it's sort of something you're imagining. It is interesting to see myself quoted. Fear is an emotion, and emotions are like the weather. They may be pleasant or not, but they will pass. And we're mostly talking about, I'm not sure if you'd call this emotional fears, but all right, well, we're going to begin in a moment. Are you in a comfortable place? Now, today, I am not going to ask you to face all your fears at once. All I hope to give is just one of many methods that you can use to face your fears. My words are not the only solution. They are just one of many. But we will begin soon. Let yourself be in a comfy spot. Make sure to quiet your phone or anything else that could make noise. Get comfy and get ready. And I personally do not approve of duct tape as a solution for annoying siblings. And I'll try not to forget the spiral. All right. Are we all ready? Very well. Then let's begin. Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live. Face your fears. In this file, I'm going to give you one of many ways to help you deal with any fears that you might have. During this file, I'm not going to ask you to do it right now. All I'm trying is to give you one method. If you are truly interested, don't be afraid to look online into many more ways to help yourself overcome anything that is in your way. Remember, it is your life. You are the star, the main character, the protagonist of the adventure that you live. And things that need to change, things that you would like to see different, are yours to do. It's in your power to change things. And the beauty of this is that while some tasks may seem, not as easy, everything can be done if you persevere. Facing your fears is a challenge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. If you had no fears left, then why are you listening? Maybe you'd want to learn something new. But for now, I will assume that there are still things you'd like to overcome. That there are things that are holding you back. Those things can be moved. Those walls can be climbed. And you can do it. Now, to help you, I'm going to use a very simple method to get you into a light state of trance. A very simple method you could do yourself whenever you are worried or afraid. And in fact, this is a very simple method that was at one point even taught to doctors and psychiatrists. Simply close your eyes and relax the muscles around your eyes to the point where you can no longer open them. See, when you relax your muscles, it is possible to relax them to such a beautiful, deep degree that when you try to use them afterwards, they're just too relaxed to move. So try to do that now. Relax the muscles around your eyes so deep, so much, that you can no longer open them. And once you are satisfied with the feeling, try to open them for a moment and realize when you cannot, that you will go deeper into trance. And as soon as you feel certain that you cannot open them, just let them fall shut. As you let go of trying, your muscles get even more relaxed around your eyes. And it feels absolutely wonderful to do this. And you can do this yourself whenever you want to. Whenever you need to calm down or help yourself, you can use this little bit of self-hypnosis and just enjoy yourself. You can ask yourself to calm down. You can tell yourself to feel a bit more rested or more tired if you're trying to sleep. Right now, though, we're going to focus on something else. Let's hope that you haven't already forgotten while you're here. You're here to face your fears, to find a way to help you overcome things that are in your way. The first part is easy. You are not alone. You are not the only person who is afraid sometimes. You are not alone in your fears. Other people feel similar and the same fears. Other people can experience the same anxieties that you feel sometimes. And this isn't always an easy subject. So whenever you're wondering, whenever your mind is wandering, just close your eyes and let them relax to the point where you can no longer open them. So just listen. Listen and relax. The second thing you can do is make a list of your fears, writing them down. There are several reasons for this. One of the main reasons is that a lot of fears are hiding. They don't want you to talk about them. They don't want you to discuss them. But you can discuss them. You can write them down. You can put them on paper and look at them. Facing your fears means that you have to look at them. Both the fear and the thing you fear. Fortunately, you don't have to do it all at once. And once you've made a list, it can help to organize your list. Some call that a fear ladder. Organize them from small, light fears to intense ones. And once you've written them down, look at them and give yourself time to face them. Realize that facing your fears is not something done in a second or a minute. It can and will take time. You are not alone in needing time. You're not alone in finding it difficult. Just relax. It's also wise to differentiate between rational and irrational fears. Fear is a normal emotion. It is part of who we are as humans. It is part of who we want to be. Fear for dangerous things, fires, animals that are too large for us to take on, and even some natural disasters are all things that are natural to fear. But let them go. Right now, all that is happening is you listening to my voice. Close your eyes. Let the muscles around them relax. Let them relax to the point where you can no longer open your eyes. Test your eyes for a moment and then let them relax even more when you find that you cannot open them. Once you have your fears on paper in a list, it will be time to look at them one by one, facing them, if you will. Each and every one of them can be overcome in time, but not all at once. Allow yourself to do them one at a time, and let each of them take as long as you need. And reward yourself for your brave behavior, because even this, listening to this, making a list, is brave. You've been brave by facing your fears, by even wanting to face them. It's okay to feel things. It's okay to not be able to control all your thoughts and emotions. It's okay. And you're brave to face them, to face what you feel, to face what you think. There's one other important thing. Allow yourself to seek help if you cannot do it alone. Not all fears can be faced alone. If something bad happens to your body, you go to the hospital. You let a professional deal with the situation. Your mind, just like the rest of your body, can be hurt. And sometimes you can heal on your own. A lot of the times your body can heal just fine over time. And sometimes you need help from a professional. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, seeking out help when you realize you cannot do it alone is a very brave thing to do. Not everyone admits that they need help sometimes. And allowing yourself to learn from the knowledge and experience that someone else has, that is a good thing. I guess in a way that's why you're here too. Facing your fears will be rewarding. It will allow you to feel more free, more open. It will allow you to feel much more calm in a wild world. It will help you feel more stable and stronger, showing the world the person that you can be, showing the people around you what you can become. There's a lot of things in the world that we have to learn. From when we're little, we have to learn the smallest things that seem so natural now. We learn to speak. We learn to walk. We learn to hold on to things and not let them go whenever we're distracted. We learn to feel. We learn the feelings of a smile and a tear, happiness and sadness. Allow yourself to feel, and slowly, gradually, expose yourself to what you fear, to learn to deal with it in your way. And some things can simply be overcome by seeing them in a different light. some things that you might worry about are small and no longer important once you learn new things. The most important thing is that you dare to listen, to face your fears, to reward yourself for being brave. You dare to change. You dare to seek out the ways that help you, that bring you closer to who you want to be. Facing your fears is an opportunity to grow. It is a place for you to improve. And remember, every person has strengths and weaknesses, beautiful flaws, and flawed beauty sometimes. Accept who you are, what you feel. Learn from it, grow from it. Inspire the world around you just by being you, by becoming an even better you. And forgive yourself for needing time. Everything needs time. Most people, when they were little, took a year to learn to walk, several years to learn to talk, and many, many more years to learn to deal with emotions. You're never truly done learning. You're never done improving yourself and becoming a better person. There's always a chance, always an opportunity, always a way to become better. And you're here wanting to become better, wanting to grow, wanting to face your fears. And I'm proud of you for being here. I'm very happy to see that you want to improve. In a moment, I'm going to count you back up. You'll find that you can awaken easily and comfortably. And whenever you need a moment of peace in your mind, remember the trick with your eyes. Just close them, let the muscles around them relax to the point where you can no longer open them. And you can ask yourself to feel calm. And to open them is no more than asking yourself to wake. So in a few counts, I'm going to do just that. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake. And 9, 10, wake. And welcome back. Well done. I hope that helped some people. So, there, the spiral is gone. Now, for those wondering, the audio file for this will be online like about half an hour after the live. So you can enjoy it then as much as you want. I must say I'm quite pleased with it. The subject itself was one that I was slightly worried about because facing your fears is something that some people just do, and not everyone is able to do it themselves. Like learning to walk, not every child does it the same pace, the same way. But I'm very happy with this one. Now, I think we can begin the Q&A. There we go. Rami asks, do you have any plans for the summer? Yes. Turtle King asks, where did you get your glasses from? I bought them. Alfred F. Jones asks, what are you afraid of? I am not sure. Like, I don't have any big fears left, I think. Miriam asks, what do you think about the portal theory about Chell being Cave Johnson's and Carolyn's daughter? It's a cute theory, but I don't think that is reality. Kaz asks, can you tell us something that made you smile today, please? Someone thought it would be funny to make me play a really difficult level of a game. It made me smile because of that it was kind of a silly thing to do, but it was kind of funny. Snowflake the Husky asks, what is next Thursday's file? When have I ever told a file in advance? Rachel asks, what kind of games have you played recently? Well, I've finished The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is an amazing game, and moved on to Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor because it was on sale, and played a bit of Icy. Bulletproof asks, Senpai, describe yourself in 3 words. So, on the site, I have creations of a mindful madman, and I like those 2 words, mindful madman. It's technically only 2 words, but they will do. And yes, I am aware that Patreon once posted the description of a file too early because of the front end of making files in Patreon is not the best. There are many things I would love to change on the Patreon front end, but unfortunately I don't work for them. And yeah, creative mindful madman would work. Claire asks, what is the scariest VR game you have ever played? I don't know. The recent VR game I played that I enjoyed a lot is the Psychonauts one. Irken asks, have you had any recent dreams that you'd like to discuss? I don't really, I don't keep a hold of my dreams for very long if I don't find them that interesting. Heather asks, you've mentioned that I excel at hypnosis in part because I'm an amateur rather than doing it professionally. Given that, how do you feel your computer programming is affected by your profession? I don't think that I excel in hypnosis because I'm an amateur or if I would be a professional, and I wouldn't really call myself an amateur either, considering I have trained with people. I would say that I am good at hypnosis because I put a lot of time in it. I have spent a lot of time both reading up on it, training with people, doing trancing. And with computer programming, that is also a mixture of experience and education. Fen asks, why do your posts go up 5 or 6 minutes past the hour and not on the hour? That's only on Patreon. And that is because the timing on Patreon appears to be slightly off. So for safety, I put them a few minutes late. Otherwise, it would be very annoying to see a post there and you cannot actually download it. Stacey Alt asks, where in Wales are you going, as I can't seem to find it on the site? The details of Wales itself are not on the site, they are in the events that is linked from there. Luna asks, motion or stick controls for the Nintendo Switch? Stick. Motion controls are not great. It's different in a VR environment where motion is directly mapped to your movement, but in a non-VR environment where motion isn't directly mapped to your movement, like movement in the game, it's kind of annoying. HB asks, what is your favorite hypnotic visual? That would be... Oh, I forgot the name of it. I think it's Growing Flower. Christina asks, how would you recommend getting over discouragement? If you fail, try again. Turtle King asks, what was your best year of being alive? I try to make each year better than the last. Rami asks, can you wish all the June birthdays, including me, a happy birthday in English or Danish? I am sorry I do not speak Danish, but I could do van hartelijk gefeliciteerd, happy birthday, and oh, now I forgot the French one. Anyway, happy birthday, all June birthday people. Since I just graduated, bon anniversaire, sorry. Since I just graduated, I was curious what your school mascots were. We did not have school mascots. Claire asks, what languages do you speak? And can you speak in one? I speak 2 languages very fluently, 2 languages okay-ish. Well, German is okay. Like Dutch, English, French, German, a very tiny bit of Japanese. Van asks, is it true that the most dangerous thing in Amsterdam is Dutch people on bikes? Actually, no. It's tourists not looking for bikes. Carla Ray asks, if you had to be one of these, which one would you choose to be, a werewolf or a vampire? See, there is this movie called Underground, and it actually shows very beautifully why werewolves are significantly better than vampires in almost all regards, as long as they're able to transform at will. They are generally stronger, faster, they are immune to more things than a vampire. And yeah, in most mythologies, werewolves also live forever. Saha asks, in what other colors do you have your Nimja shirts? I just have a black and a white one. Luna asks, is it true that Dutch children don't get presents for Christmas, but like 3 weeks before Christmas? Yes, it's called Sinterklaas. It's actually what Santa Claus is based on, or like one of the 3 things that Santa Claus is based on. Alfred F. Jones asks, I know you always wear a t-shirt in lives, but how do you dress day to day? In clothes. Love Hilding asks, where does the name Nimja come from? It is a translation of sorts of my real name. HP asks, how's the weather in Amsterdam today? Sunny and hot. Sue informs us of Whale that the female presenter is Sensuous Spiral, but that is not yet on the page yet. Bulletproof asks, what is the highest or lowest note you can hit? Can you try doing so now? Well, it depends on if you count the falsetto voice as well, but I think I can reach just about 2 octaves. It's not that impressive. Rachel Me asks, if you could have a mythical pet, like a unicorn, what pet would you have? A succubus. No, that's probably a very bad idea, actually. Liz Oreos asks, have you heard of the musical Be More Chill? I have not. We'll see. Christine asks, can we hear your falsetto, sir? Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Luna asks, are you wearing orange on King's Day? I was not. I think a unicorn succubus would be a very dangerous thing. I did hear that they get very horny. Hannah asks, have you ever been a sub? No. I have never had any inclination to be submissive. Claire Odd asks, this is probably going to not sound very nice. Can you speak like Dracula? Cyflomike Fangirl asks, would you recommend moving to the Netherlands? It depends. I think it's an okay country. I don't know if it's the best country in the world, but it's fine. Christarina asks, have you ever been a boat? No, but I've been in one, and I've sailed and been the captain of a boat. Miriam Nicholson asks, if you could be any animal for a day, which animal would it be? Probably some bird of prey. High chances of survival, good chance to explore the world. Irken asks, have you ever had a bad experience with someone being so well known online? I've had bad experiences with people even before I was known online. There is life isn't always good. Sometimes things go bad. Clairod asks, if you could be a mythical creature, which one would you be? According to many people, I'd be an incubus. Sarah asks, for drinking water, bottle or glass? It doesn't matter as long as it's good water. Bulletproof asks, have you ever wished someone died? No. Hatred is like a very big waste of time. Hating someone is time that you're spending not for yourself. Rachel asks, if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you have? Probably telekinesis. I mean, telepathy, if you have it to the level of Charles Xavier, it could be cool, but telekinesis could be interesting. Clairod asks, are you afraid of any animal? I am afraid of any animal with more mass and more aggression than humans. That is a wise thing to be afraid of. As in, I am very well aware that a tiger or a lion can rip me to pieces with no problem at all. Hannah asks, is it hard finding a romantic partner that's into the same things as you? Well, see, it's kind of a mistake to find a romantic partner that's completely into the same things as you. There should be overlap and there should be differences so that you keep surprising each other. And keep in mind with the animal thing, I did say animals that are significantly more aggressive than humans. Horses, for example, are not more aggressive than humans, and I've ridden on horses. I have no problem with them. Clairod asks, are there any theme park rides you will never go on? Anything that doesn't pass any normal safety inspections? Sarah asks, how would you react if someone pokes your glasses over and over again until you are unable to see? I would probably find some way of putting them in their place. Clairod asks, what time is it where you are? And it is 6 minutes to 11 p.m. Carla Ray asks, which would you prefer as a pet, a doggy or a kitty cat? I'm actually okay with both. For purely lazy reasons, a cat would probably be easier. Dogs do require more attention. Although cats demand more attention, they're very good at that. Fen asks, what's your surprise face? Ted asks, do you have a preferred method of putting someone in their place? Preferred method. Maybe one or two. But I don't think I want to tell just yet. You might have to find out for yourself, Ted. HP asks, who do you like more, GLaDOS or Wheatley? Well, GLaDOS doesn't betray me, so I think she's nicer. Hannah asks, Yanni or Laurel? Hey, it's a mention of a recent meme. The Yanni-Laurel thing has to do with spectrum analysis. If you hear high notes more easily, you will hear Yanni more likely. I'm able to hear the full spectrum, and it's obvious that he's saying Laurel. Miriam Nicholson asks, is the bot in your server based on the turrets in Portal? Well, there may be one or two quotes. Rachel appropriately asks, how would someone deal with a brat? Swift. Several people asked, have I seen Infinity War? No, I have not seen Infinity War yet. I will probably see it, but I haven't had much time. And if you do anything that would annoy me in person, on purpose to be bratty, I'm sure I'll find a way. On a scale of 1 to 69, how juvenile can you get? 42. Lysorios asks, would you ever do a studio tour? I'm not sure what you mean with a studio tour. Christina asks, is there a difference between being a smartass and being a brat? It depends on how much you correct someone. Miriam Nicholson asks, what would you do if you get a bunch of people visiting you all at once on the same day unexpectedly? Well, except for the unexpectedly, that sounds like my birthday. And it depends on how they behave. Bulletproof asks, would you like sharing a quote of yours with us? Well, one of my favorite quotes is, the only constant in every failure that you've had in your life is you. But I like, and this is not part of the quote, I like that it is empowering. Because if you are the constant in all the mistakes, it also means that you are the person who can change it. Alfred F. Jones asks, which is better for listening to your files, headphones or earbuds? It doesn't matter as long as the frequency response is good. Generally, headphones have a fuller sound. Heather asks, Do you honestly believe that threats of demonstrating effective breath handling will discourage people? Oh no, quite the contrary. Claire Odd asks, which it do you prefer, the old one or the new one? I actually haven't seen the new one yet. Liz Orios asks, what would happen if we stole the glasses? I actually would be very unhappy. And I mean this in a very serious way. Do not ever steal someone's glasses. Most people with glasses need them to see, which means that glasses are an important part for their survival. Stealing it is basically like someone stealing an arm or a leg. Don't do it, it's not nice. And it's also not funny. HP asks, is this your first channel on YouTube? Nope. But I haven't done anything else like upload-wise. Fen asks, if the preparation, sale and consumption of human meat were legal, would you try it? It depends more on how they would have obtained the meat. It's probably very bad for you. It could cause something similar to crazy cow disease. Saraka Sakume asks, do you like if someone fluffs through your hair? It's fine. Mad cow disease, sorry. BNJ asks, can you make people forget more than just their name? Like, can you wipe their minds or whatever? The effects of hypnosis are temporary. You can make someone think that they've forgotten who they are and where they are, etc. But it will always come back. Bulletproof asks, coffee or tea? I do not drink coffee. And in fact, most of my fluid intake is just plain water. Rami Ungar asks, do you enjoy ASMR? I don't listen to it much myself. Les Orios asks, what's your record for putting someone into a trance? Well, that depends. I mean, if I have a trigger with someone, it's 1 second. And that can be done non-verbally even. Bulletproof asks, chocolate or vanilla? Sure. Alfred F. Jones asks, what do you think of plastic wrap bondage? It's hot. Sarah asks, will you ever come to Germany? I've been to Germany many times, actually. Darian says, hoi, which is a common Dutch greeting. Miriam Nicholson asks, do you prefer non-verbal triggers or verbal triggers? Generally verbal ones, but non-verbal ones can be really fun to play with. Fen asks, what is the longest it took you to put someone in trance? Well, I have definitely had times when I couldn't put someone in trance, so that would make it infinite. Claire asks, what is the most popular hypnosis you've done so far? Like on the site? Hannah asks, would you consider opening an actual Nimja Incorporated? I don't know. Sue asks, lemon or caramel? Ooh, that sounds nice. Sarah asks, what's the worst German food you've ever had? I've had bad sauerkraut once. Like, I'm fine with sauerkraut, but like if it's not prepared well, it's really terrible. Red Demon Blonde Angel asks, does your site give you a feed for what your most downloaded or listened to file is? If so, what file? Yes, I can actually look that up. In the last 2 months, the most popular file on the site is Quick Release. Yep. And on YouTube, it is by far Lose Your Voice for some bizarre reason. Erkin Invader asks, do you like to swim? If so, in open water or a pool? I generally prefer a pool for convenience. I don't know asks a very interesting question. Why did you choose this darkish blue as your channel color instead of the blue of a clear winter sky? Because the clear blue of a winter sky is a very poor contrast color when it comes to white or black. So while aesthetically I like the color, practically it's not a very handy color. Saif Ali asks, have you ever had Indian foods? Yeah, a fair bit, I think. Rami Ungar asks the light side or the dark side of the force. I mean, the dark side does have cookies. Lizarios asks, what musical would you suggest people to see? I don't know, actually. Christian asks, what's your favorite mythological figure? I mean, Zeus is pretty entertaining. Like, that is one completely messed up person. Laura asks, could you hypnotize someone without them noticing it? Probably yes. I don't really do that though, because consent is very important. I have had a request, like in person, where I got consent to hypnotize someone without them noticing, which was fun. But it's like there's still an implied consent and knowledge that I will. Fan asks, please convince me I don't need another set of metal dice. Metal dice are cool, but they leave dents in whatever you throw them on. Plastic dice are more practical and lighter. Rachel asks, if you had $1 million, what would be the first thing you would do with it? Invest or put it in a bank account. Maybe buy my house, like pay my house off. Cyflo Mike Fangirl asks, Bob Ross or Morgan Freeman? Yeah. Those are good voices. Lizarius asks, if you had the opportunity to create your own programming language, would you do so? Maybe as a fun project, but not for serious. Sauerkraut. Sorry. Miriam Nicholson asks, what would you do if I jumped on your bed? What are you doing in my house? Carla Ray asks, do you prefer Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? See, I'm just happy that there's multiple large, like, fantasy universes being made into movies. Fen asks, okay, please convince me I don't need another set of dice. I think you had enough, Fen. Jamla Scucci asks, are you really into daddydom little girl, or do you just do hypnosis? I am into a lot of things. I don't think I would have made probably more than half the files if I wasn't into some strange things. Paulov asks, what color is your wardrobe mostly? I would say a bit dark, but with some color. Mr. Chicken Wings asks, if you make it, what would the language learning file do? I think it would help you to understand languages and inspire you to learn more. Bulletproof asks, have you ever wished someone hypnotized you instead? Oh, interesting question. I'm not sure, actually. Sarah asks, what is your favorite German food? I am not sure. I'd really have to think about that. Alfred F. Jones asks, would you prefer to tie someone up, then hypnotize them, or hypnotize them and tie them up? See, that just depends on the day. Hannah asks, is there anything you're not into? Yes. I am not into things that would permanently damage someone. Fen asks, why are there no Dutch cuisine restaurants, at least in Amsterdam? Actually, there are. Near Central Station, there's Loetje. But the problem is there's no such thing as Dutch cuisine. Like, there's normal Dutch cooking, but cuisine, not so much. Luna asks, could you make a brainwashing file so that the person listening doesn't notice the brainwashing? Obviously, you have not listened to brainwashing experiments. Python Tilly... I should just call you Python. How would you fix the issue of movies always being horrible interpretations of the books? By adjusting your expectations. Movies and books are not the same, and some of them do it nicely, some of them not so much. One Punch Man is an amazing adaptation of a manga comic series. And I think the Lord of the Rings movies, they're not faithful to the books, but they are good movies by themselves. So try to see the movies not as trying to redo the book in a different medium, because that doesn't work. It's like making a movie out of a game. It has to be different. Oh yeah, and I forgot about the restaurant called Moeders, which is mothers. Jaminas asks, how long have you done this, like hypnosis things? More than 20 years. Python Tilly C. Hannah asks, have you ever played The Sims? Soon. No. I mean, yeah, I have, but I'm not that much into it. Fan asks, do you get road rage when you're on a bicycle? No, not really. And if you've listened to Brainwashing Experiment too much, then just listen to Recursive Induction or one of the Confusion Inductions before it. I'm sure it'll scramble your mind enough. Remy Ungar asks, what do you enjoy reading? Usually light fantasy, like Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett or Tom Holt. Heather asks, if hypnosis is not permanent, or rather the effects of hypnosis, is it ethical for psychologists or professionals or hypnotherapists to use it as a treatment method for chronic problems? Well, yes, because hypnosis itself is not the thing that changes. It's more that it helps as a conditioning tool to change someone. Conditioning can change someone, and hypnosis can be used as a tool for conditioning. But a hypnotic suggestion by itself does not change someone permanently. Lesorius asks, is it possible to hypnotize someone through a hug? A new person, no, but you can definitely use it as a trigger. Rachel asks, would you rather have subs do everything for you or have subs as pets? That too varies a little bit on the day. Like, I definitely have a soft spot for service subs. Hannah asks, do you have any experience with anxiety? If so, any pro tips? I don't know if the way how my mind works could be considered anxiety, but mostly the tips that I've given in the file as well, like look up facing your fears, and it applies to anxiety. Maxer asks, what do you think about LARP, live action roleplay? LARP is awesome. I would recommend people just doing it and having fun with it. The only problem with LARP is some people take it too far. Like, it is fun, it is enjoyment, and it is good to have fun with it. Kimberly Jacobs asks, do you spoil your subs? Sometimes. Darian asks, would you rather listen to your worst music every day or eat your worst food every day? Wow, that is quite the torture no matter what you choose. Either your ears go bleed or your mouth is horrible. Probably food. Unless it's a really short song. It's like then it's 5 seconds in a day. If it's continuous, then the food is a better option because you would only be tortured a small part of your day. I would assume that it's only one meal, and even if it's all 3 meals, it's still temporary. Becca Rose asks, what was your favorite subject in school? Physics and math. HP asks, can I have a hug, sir? Well, there is a file for that. And Gruby, who happily still caught the live stream for the last 12 minutes, has a question. How long do you spend your time on hypnosis? And have you been hypnotized by someone? Do you mean how much time in a week I spend on it? Pardon me. File-wise, I would say that it's about 3 hours per week, maybe a bit more. And then I have the extra things like the comments. Sarah asks, what was the most useless thing you've ever bought? I bicycle everywhere, like to work and everything, and I once had the brilliant idea of buying a home trainer to like do some exercise while watching a movie. And that was a waste of money. Lesorios asks, is your background music from your files found on your website, and if so, where? No, you cannot download it separately. Christina asks, what is one of the best things and one of the most challenging things of being a dominant? One of the best things is the pride when things go well and knowing that I'm responsible. One of the most challenging things is that with the responsibility also comes accepting things that go wrong and taking responsibility for it. Payson Tilisi asks, was it more difficult to learn proper inductions or to make effective suggestions? Both of them are challenging. Heather asks, what is your favorite instant induction and why that one? I'm not sure. I kind of like the... I forgot the name of it now. The practice induction where you lift someone's wrist a few times. I don't know if it counts as an instant one, but I really like that one because it's a very nice experience for the person who gets hypnotized. Becca Rose asks, could you make a file for women to help with period pains? Actually, I have it. It's called Pain Relief. Steven Schwartz asks, how can you reply to each comment? It is my superpower. Also, I am a programmer and I've written myself a tool to help find comments that I haven't answered. The induction I meant is where the person has to sit down and have their arms on a armrest, and you lift them like at the wrist up a bit. I don't know if it's called arm drops. Sarah Kasugame asks, is the cake a lie? I'm not sure, but someone sent 2 crazy robots out to find it. Steven Schwartz asks, where are you from, bro? I am from the Netherlands. Hannah asks, how do you make your new or nervous subs feel at ease or safe? The funny thing is, with a Skype call, on purposefully starting with, hello, I am Nimja, is a very funny way to break the ice. Alfred F. Jones asks, can you see the IP address of people who use the site? Yes, every site can see your IP address. In fact, it is impossible for a site to not see your IP address because the site has to know what it's like, where to send your request back to. When you click on a link, it sends it back to your IP address. The question is, how long do you keep that information? And in my case, that information is kept very briefly. There is some information on the disclaimer page on the site, actually. York LaRose asks, what advice do you have for people who want to try hypnosis but are very nervous to do so? So I have a file called Safety Guidelines, which contains some very important guidelines on how to deal with files and people. Payson Tilisi asks, what is an English word you constantly pronounce incorrectly or cannot say? I am sure there's a few of them. Steven Schwartz asks, hoe kom je in dit geweldige Engelse accent? How did you get this great English accent? I have been playing games online with people from the UK mostly for a very long time because they're in the same time zone as I am. So I have a sort of like Irish British tint to my accent, but I still have kept some of my Dutch accent. Van asks, how do you feel about having your hair braided? My hair is not nearly long enough. Lizorios asks, when you become Supreme World Leader, what would be your first order? Stop bothering me. Also chill. Red Demon Blonde Angel asks, have you ever sung in the rain? Yes, I have. Many times, actually. And I've even sung Singing in the Rain. Because I like singing and dancing in the rain. Rachel asks, do you speak Dutch first or English? Dutch is my native language. Pavlov asks, why did you name Wisdom Wisdom? For those of you who don't know, the Patreon supporters of any amount have access to the Discord channel. And on the Discord channel, I've made my own bot. And I named the bot Wisdom. It's kind of like a playful name. I felt that Wisdom is a nice name. Like, it's sort of playful and simple. Becca Rose asks, why are you the best? I'm not. I wouldn't say that I am the best. I'm just trying to be good and becoming better. Heather asks, if you could not work in computer science, what would you do for a living? Maybe robotics. Carla Ray asks, what is a bot? A bot is short for, well, like robots. It is a small program that can function similar to other chatters, and it can listen and reply. Rachel asks, what is love? Something that you should not be hurt by. HP asked, kannst du etwas in Deutsch sagen, bitte? Cyflomic Fangirl asks, do you think of the majority of the world is smart or dumb? So, IQ works like this. An IQ of 100 is the average person. Now, a person is fine. A group of people rapidly becomes as smart as their dumbest member, because the people with the loudest voice are not always the most intelligent of people. Michelle Mabel asks, have you ever had an irrational thought? Quite a lot. I would not say that my mind is always rational. Hannah asks, are you more of a sadist or a masochist? If I were a masochist, I would be more submissive. So I am more of a sadist. Van asks, do you speak Dutch or English with family? Yes. Now, one more minute and then the live will be over. I am sorry. Heather asks, how would you reduce the damage done by loud people who are not the brightest? Gags. Kaden asks, should we give smart people megaphones? No, a lot of smart people can do a lot with normal phones. Becca Rose asks, I ask you all the time, but can you do a robot voice, please? Bulletproof asks, dimples or charming lips? I am not sure what the question is. All right. One more question. Get your questions in quickly. And Kimberly Jacobs, if you have a question, you have to ask it with a question mark. Actually, I will answer Hannah's question. Why do you prefer Sir over any other respectful title? This has several reasons, and I find this a very interesting question. So the thing is that Sir is an honorific that can be used both as a normal honorific, like how a polite store clerk may say this to a gentleman. And it can also be used as a very strong honorific towards actual like royalty. So it is a honorific without like too much pressure, but still a bit of respect. For any other title like master or daddy or owner, I feel that with the title also comes responsibility of the person themselves. Like, for that title to be exchanged, there should be a bond between the master and slave, between the daddy and the little one, between the owner and the object. There should be a strong bond between them before that title should be allowed in my eyes. And as such, I feel that the title of master is earned on both sides, both by me, by building up trust in this bond, as well as the submissive, by serving and by obeying. All right. Now we're also getting a little bit over time. Remember that it's less than half an hour until midnight here. So unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And as for dinner, I had burritos. They were tasty. Homemade. All right. Thank you for being here, everyone. And thank you again, my loyal and amazing patrons, supporters, and donators. Thank you for supporting me and believing in me and listening to me and asking all these questions as well. Thank you for being here. This was Nimja Live. Wake.